I'm back again and I bought myself a tripod as a little celebratory reward for doing, 6 videos just to reinforce the behaviour. And I tried switching the camera around the other way around to use the phone camera on the opposite side, and I filmed a couple of videos and it just wasn't working for me. And I was like, again, quantity over perfection, that's what we're aiming for still. And so even though the camera on the other side of the phone is better, I prefer the selfie way. I don't know if anyone else has the same problem or preference. I'm gonna keep it like this for now, and then maybe when I figure out the other way, we'll flip it around. Anyway, let's get into this video. I was gonna script it, and I had a script ready and everything, but I just wasn't doing it. So I'm gonna go ad lib, completely off the record. And so I'm going to talk to you about my university experiences, what I studied specifically, because it's quite niche. If there's anyone out there thinking about doing it or is unsure still, maybe going through the application processes with UCAS and wants a bit of an idea, because I remember when I was going through it, I didn't have a clue and I was jumping from subject to subject, thinking, what the hell do I want to study? Now, I'm not going to talk about my undergraduate degree because that was an aside, and I want to focus on a subject that is really close to my heart, which I really loved, and I think other people will love it too. I studied behavioural finance at university. Now, what the hell is behavioural finance? For those of you who have never heard of it. Behavioural finance is when you have psychology and finance and they make a baby. And basically what the more technical definition is looking at the behaviour of investors or financial analysts when making financial decisions. And the basic premise is that we are irrational and we make decisions based on emotion rather than logic. And we have certain cognitive biases, which are mental shortcuts we default to when making decisions. Some examples can be, for instance, selling an investment prematurely, or for instance, buying when you see an investment doing really well, or that everyone's buying into. You can create this sort of herd mentality around it and sort of follow the crowd. Now, I'll go into a bit more detail about behavioural biases in another video. This is just to talk about university, what I studied, where I studied it, how difficult it was. Now, this was my master's degree. I don't know if they do an undergraduate in it. They probably do modules, very likely actually. And I studied my master's at the ICMA Centre in Reading. The other option was Queen's Mary in London. Didn't want to be in London, but if you prefer to be in the London life, then Queen's Mary of London would probably be your choice. Now, I thought it would be similar to third year, difficult, but not insanely difficult. Subject dependent, isn't it? And very specific from person to person how hard studying is, but studying your subject. But I remember I had about 11 contact hours that's because I was writing a dissertation in the last year of university. But in my master's, I had way more. I can't remember exactly how many, but sometimes I was doing lectures from 9 to 6. It was quite intense. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it about a 7. It was quite intense as well because I came from a non-finance background. Now, I think that's really important to mention, that I actually had never studied finance before. So if you've studied finance and you have a finance background, it's probably a little bit easier. And the career path that it led me to is financial planning. Now, if you're looking to go into financial planning, I'd say that this is a perfect master's degree for anyone looking to do a master's, as it gives you, as when you're doing financial planning and giving financial advice, you have to deal with a lot of investor decisions, a lot of people, and knowing the psychology behind certain decisions is really, really useful. And I'm going to do more videos about this in the future, but I just want to keep this to just uni focused for today. And if you're thinking of doing behavioural finance, please ask me any questions, because I would be more than happy to answer them. And with it being such a niche degree, not many people have done it. And I remember in my class, I think there was about 10 of us, and I really do hope that it becomes more popular, because it's such a great degree. Now, maybe another question might be if you do a dissertation. So you don't necessarily have to do a dissertation. I remember I did a 3,000 word essay, and that was quite interesting. We picked a cognitive bias to focus on, and you basically went into a lot of research and depth about that. I think that covers everything. And if you have any more questions or want to see this go in a different direction, then do let me know. And thank you for listening. See you on the next one.